You guys should hear me now, right? All right. There we go. All right, hold on.
What's up?
Okay, I got... Can you hear me?
I got you.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Yes, sir. In the mic, just fine. All right, so, guys, I'm sorry about that. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. We're all set. Guys, I want you to know that I, Mr. Poseidon, I have been getting ready for this all day. It's been really rough. That's all I got to tell you. But all the way to the end, all the way to right now, and we're finally actually ready right now. But anyhow, how's everybody doing? Welcome to the Mr. Poseidon Let's Talk Fishing. It's great to be here. I couldn't wait. I could not wait to do this show. I could not wait. So today, as you guys know, we're going to have Dennis Kuntz on, and he's from... That's right, guys. Second Chance Tackle. You got it. Dennis Kuntz. So he's on YouTube. He's got a good amount of subscribers because people like to learn how to fix their reels. I mean, I showed him all my reels. He knew everything right off the bat. And I can't wait. We're going to have him check out one of my reels during the show. But before that all starts, I want to say hello to my lovely wife. Which camera are you, honey? Oh, I know which one you are. Hey!
Hi, everybody.
It's this one, not that one.
Sorry.
That's the old one. Look, this one. Look.
I gotcha.
There you go. How you doing?
Everybody, good.
So I drove you a little crazy today, right?
Oh boy, yeah.
By the end, she was like ready to like throw me down the stairs. And then the guest came over and she really let me have it then. But anyway, other than that, we just had some pizza downstairs, and I couldn't wait to get up here. Talking about fishing. Fishing's been a little rough. It has picked up, I heard, in Montauk just a little bit. I mean, listen, guys, you got to get out there and grind. If you go out there and grind, you're going to catch some fish. It's that time of the year. Now with the hot weather in, it doesn't look so good. A lot of the sharks are going to start setting in, and by July, it's going to be pretty much done. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, July was a great month in Long Island. You go bait fishing, throw a big chunk out there, you catch a nice striper. But anyhow, those days are gone. Hot weather is set in. and setting early. But anyhow, we're going to have a great show today, guys. We got, again, I'm going to tell you, Second Chance Fishing. Dennis Kuntz is here live.
Second chance tackle.
Yeah, Second Chance Tackle. That's right. And I love my wife so much. She corrects me all the time. I love her. You're just great. Yeah, what are you going to do? All right, so pretty much let's go on over and let's say hi to Dennis. Dennis?
Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's great,
fantastic.
man.
I'm looking forward to the show as well.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of time people only see my hands
Right.
when I do my reel repairs. And, well, this will give them a chance to see me.
Yeah.
And we can have a chat rather than working in comments and
Very
write-ins.
nice.
And looking forward to answering
Yeah.
some questions.
So, guys, if you know who Dennis Kuntz is, that Second Chance Tackle, check him out on YouTube. Subscribe to him. He's a knowledgeable guy. Like Bill Wetzel knows the surf. This guy knows his reels. Trust me. And you get a nice description. You see what's going on, why he's doing it, how he's fixing it, and you could pick up a lot. Especially if you're one of those guys that likes to mess around with gadgets and fix your own reels and things like that. This guy's the guy to follow and actually subscribe to. So, all right, let's head on over. Dennis, what's going on, buddy?
Wait, Delco said that Delco Joe's saying he can't hear Dennis really well. Is the mic?
Put it look right
Let's-
under you.
Let's see. I'll talk and can he
Yeah.
hear me?
You got it. Look at me. Pull it more to you.
More
Put
to
it right under your chin. Almost touch it. There you go.
There you go. How's that?
Ah, now
see.
we can hear you. Beautiful.
Is there a volume level for his mic that maybe you could raise?
Yeah, I raised it. Now he should be good.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
test that.
Yeah, don't go away from it. Right there, right on it. I talk right on mine.
Okay.
So
Cool,
this way
cool.
everybody gets a nice loud
Volume.
volume out of
That's good because the people that watch my videos, well, we're not as professionally done as your studio here. So we get the water heaters, we get the air conditioning's popping on, we
Yeah,
get
there you
the
go.
dryer in the background, all those noises kind of.
That's
It's
so
what it's
awesome.
about. Yeah.
I know.
That's
Here
so
we have
awesome.
the AC running.
I
But
love it.
that's
I
about
love it. All right, so Dennis, I just recently met you, and you told me your channel. I went on, so I know we had spoken, and we set up the date. But I did watch a few of your shows, and you're very explanatory. You know, everybody could see what you're doing. It's nice. I like what you do. It seems to me like that's something that you really enjoy.
Well, it is, and I appreciate that, Eric.
Yeah.
One of the things that I wanted to do was take my love of teaching and a little bit of an understanding of history, combine all of that with a how-to. And so what I've done is I've tried to create videos not to just go through it and say, look what I know, but rather to show you what you can do in terms of fixing those fishing reels or even understanding what that reel is, what its history was, and why it's being used, why it's popular, or why it's not popular.
Right, Dennis. Dennis, even before we get more into this, because there's going to be so much to ask you that I want to ask. I want to know how this whole fishing thing started for you. I know now you've been in the industry a little while. I mean, you're what, 34 years old right now? No more than that. But we don't need to discuss age here on my show. Like I said, 34 is a beautiful number.
There you go.
So I want to ask you, how did this whole thing start for you?
Well, there's two sides that started, if you will. The first one was when I started repairing fishing reels. The second is when I actually started the YouTube channel. So on the fishing reel side of it, that goes way back. That's probably 35 or 40 years ago. I had a pen reel that, it was broken. I took it to a local tackle shop, and the tackle shop suggested that I throw it away and buy new. And, well, that didn't fit with me. My dad was a child of the Depression. He taught me that you don't throw things away, you fix things, showed me how to do it, and we took the opportunity to, well, what could I do? I couldn't ruin a reel that the guys said throw it away. So I took it apart, and I found out that I had a little penchant for repairing the reels. And that was a long time ago now. That's in the 1970s.
Wow.
So about 7 years ago, as we were talking, I retired.
Nice.
And I was looking for something to do. I had been fixing fishing reels on and off, commercially, if you will, for over 25 years. I got started by repairing fishing reels for charter boats. I used to go on the boats, and one day I had asked the captain, what's with all the buckets of reels in the bow? And he said, well, one of these days I'm going to take the time to fix that, but right now we're fishing. And so I made an arrangement with him. I'll fix your reels. You let me ride on the boat. And that's how I got started doing that. And then when YouTube came along and I came retired, my daughter is the impetus for that. She suggested that, I'm getting a little older. I know we don't talk age here, but I'm getting a little older. Why don't you leave a legacy? Why don't you show people what you do so that they can learn to do it themselves? And that's where we came up with the idea of second chance tackle. Give those reels a second chance. Don't toss them away. We're in too much of a throwaway society today. Don't toss them away. Most of them are easy fixes. And I think the folks that watch a lot of the videos notice I have things I call grease-choked reels, or things that, WD-40 will fix it if you have a curiosity.
Right.
And I'm very curious, and that's how we got started in it, and that's why we continue to have the success that we do.
Fabulous. Excuse me. When you mentioned earlier about, you came from the times of when things broke, you fixed them. You fixed them, you got them to work. You didn't go out and you buy something new like we do today. And something breaks today, it's like, I'm not fixing it, I'm buying another one.
We're almost being forced into that by the industry itself. Yeah. The industry's gone to a disposable society. I call it a fashion industry, or a passion industry, if you will. The reels don't change. What changes is the colors and the dynamics of the reel, and a lot of advertising and hype. And I think the industry today is at a point where they're thinking, I can't sell the next reel if these reels are maintained. And, a lot of times you'll buy a reel. Let's go to Walmart, right? You'll find reels there for $30, $40, $50. They're going to do the things that you want a fishing reel to do, but the repair costs are going to be $30, $40, $50 if you take it to somebody who wants to do that. Well, that makes it disposable.
Right.
Well, what I try to do is make it non-disposable by taking the initiative to show folks you can do this yourself. The reels that you can't get the parts on are inexpensive, and if you take the time, have some level of mechanical ability, that you're going to be able to fix your reel and keep it going for a long time to come.
Yeah, no doubt about it. When you were saying that, you come from those times, and I remember we had a garbage can that you would step on, and the lid would open. So it stopped working one day, and what happened was my dad went and he fixed it, and it worked. It always worked for a day. Then he'd go back, he'd make his adjustments on it, and then it would work again. But I remember the damn thing, we must have had that thing 10 years. 10 years we had that thing. And that was the main issue. But we never got one. It always, you always get down, lift up with your hand, and put the garbage. And then that was that. Right. So that's the way you dealt with it back in those days, Yep. My parents were, people that came off the boat. They worked very hard in factories. They saved their money. They bought a little small home, and that was that, and they raised their family. And now his son is a retard who has a podcast. But anyway.
Well, it's interesting. Today's garbage can probably is computer controlled, and you probably can't fix it.
You're probably right, too. That's the sad thing, too, sometimes. It really is that we've come into this time where you can't fix things sometimes, The only cars that are going to work, if they ever have one of those electrical, whatever they call them, storms or whatever it is, the only cars that are going to work, I think it's before 1956, there was no electronics in the cars. So they have those in all military bases. So that if any kind of war erupts with that kind of, where all electric gets knocked out, those cars are going to work because they don't have any electronics in there.
Oh, you just hit on one of the things I love about my channel. People know a lot more about this stuff than I do. Right. And I just learned something.
There you go.
It's a two-way street. We're both learning on this stuff.
Yeah, without a doubt. I appreciate that, Dennis. Thank you. This is all my reels that Dennis is going to look over.
Oh boy.
No, I'm kidding.
You didn't tell me you were going to put me on the spot here.
No, never. So basically, Dennis, what kind of fish did you grow up fishing for? Because I want to know that stuff.
Well, we talked about my dad. My dad was ex-Navy. He served in World War II. And when he got out, when he had children, I was the oldest. I was one of two boys that were twins. And, we had the opportunity on the Jersey Shore to get him back into the Navy by getting on some old PT boats that were serving as the charter boats at the time. And, we fished a lot of salt water. And
Very nice.
Mostly on the boats, and then in the surf, and then just about anywhere you could go after
Sure.
that.
So you pretty much fish for every fish: fluke, flounders, stripers, bluefish. You've been there.
Done them all.
You've done that all, definitely. That's really a nice thing, but now we're going to get into the deep stuff. I like, too, tinkering with stuff. I've always fixed things when I was younger. The only thing I haven't tried fixing is my Van Stall reels. That I will not mess with. I actually set one out for service after 12 years. I'll show you that one, a quickie here. And they didn't have this part, but they had it in another color, which I actually love what they did.
Right.
I'll show you that on the camera, guys. Let me see if we can get that up there. I don't have anything on my screen, honey.
Wait, this one?
Yeah, on my screen to switch the cameras on.
Oh, but is it this one here on the left?
Yes, that one.
Okay.
There you go. So it's got a little block there. Pick it up, Dennis, and just twirl, put it. There you go. Now you can see the shape.
There you go.
Yeah, you could see the black piece, guys. That was what they repaired on me. And when they took it out, it bent, whatever. That's how much it was seized in there. And what happened was they put that in its place. They only had it in a black color. I didn't mind that being done. I actually think it's pretty cool. But great reels, Van Stall. We got those, and beautiful thing. Go ahead.
This may sound
A little more.
up on the
Yeah,
X.
yeah.
Put it on the
Okay,
X.
yeah, there you go.
This
Yeah.
may sound self-defeating, but I don't service Van Stalls. And,
Yeah, I know.
And I always recommend a lot of these. Well, one, a lot of the manufacturers are going to come up with custom tooling, and they're going to come up with things like mag sealing and the like, where they're going to recommend factory service only. And there's not only am I not going to fix this, but my viewers that own Van Stalls, they're not going to fix theirs either. So I don't focus much on that.
No,
And,
yeah, that's
and I let
totally
them,
different.
there are things that the factory should do.
Right. I sent out my Stella recently, last year.
There you go.
I got the.
Now, I do work on Stellas.
Yeah, so there you go. Maybe.
What'd you do with this one?
I just that one is the one that that one also too. It wasn't good inside.
Right.
Those are not really set for the surf. Those are not really made, I think, to go underwater too much. But
No.
yeah,
Well, I always enjoy previewing the reels that my folks send in.
Right.
Because not only do I show folks the videos, but I'll get contacted from them, do you service reels? And a lot of the times those reels are a little bit older. A lot of times they're keepsakes or memories, and that's what I love restoring about the reels.
Yeah.
People will give me a reel and say, this is the reel I fished as a child. This is the first reel my dad bought for me.
Yeah.
This is the first reel I remember working, a newspaper route to go buy, and it doesn't work any longer. I now have children. I now have grandchildren. Fill in the blanks, right? And I really would like to have the reel working again. Can you do that for me, right? I'd love to do that. I think the histories of the reels, if the reels could talk, it's more exciting than the actual doing the reel itself and restoring that memory. It's giving it a second chance. That's the whole idea behind it.
We talked about my reel that my dad had. It was a boat pole, and I always called it a boat pole. And if you don't have that right touch, there's no way you're ever going to get that cast right. This is a golden thumb. It takes
The
a lot of
educated thumb.
experience.
Yep.
It takes a lot of experience to do that. It isn't just pulling back a bail and tossing out. It's very easy. You can do that in a few hours.
Right.
Pick up an easy cast. But learning a bail is a different story.
It sure is.
Yeah.
But I was taught on that, so that's how you learn.
There you go.
And I know you're saying you're accustomed to the bird's nest.
Yeah.
But after a while you get it.
That's pretty cool. I know. I don't know if you ever heard of a fella called Billy the Greek.
I did. The striper man out on Long Island.
Yeah, that's him. He was on my show here. He's been on a few times.
Okay.
Great fisherman, as you know, since you know him. He's a legend out here. I mean, the guy has caught more 60s than anybody will ever see or even catch. But it's quite an amazing feat. He's a hardcore grinder. You don't just catch fish, because you say you're going to go out and catch a fish. It takes a lot of work, takes a lot of patience, and if you keep doing it over and over again, it's a beautiful feeling. It's a rewarding feeling, especially when you're catching the fish off the shore.
I had met him about 4 years ago. If I remember, he was still going out every day.
Yeah.
And he was at the point now where if he didn't see the movement in the water for the fish, he wouldn't even fish there.
Yeah, that's Billy.
That's Billy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Quite the guy.
definitely, without a doubt. Okay, so I wanted you to look at a reel for me.
Okay.
This is the one I had showed you. You can say more about this than I can.
Sure. So let's talk about reels in general. That's the one thing every fisherman has in common, unless they're hand lining, right?
Yeah.
So we'll skip hand lining for a minute, right? The reels, regardless of what they are, the one you were thumbing, the conventional boat reel.
Right.
I probably have one in here. Let's see if we can find that for you.
Beautiful.
So this is an old workhorse. This is your Penn Jig Master. And this is a conventional reel. And then you just gave me what we'll call a spinning reel. Some people call it a fixed spool reel.
Okay.
Okay. This stays fixed. In this case, the spool moves. What do they have in common? Oh, what am I doing? What they have in common is a big gear turns a little gear. Sometimes this is actually called a multiplier. And the reason why it's called a multiplier is it has a gear that is more than 1-to-1. Well, what reels have 1-to-1? Those are center pin reels. Put that one here in the center on the X. A center pin reel, for every revolution that you do, the spool turns once. For a multiplier reel, for every revolution that you do, it turns 2 or 3 or 4 times. That's what your gear ratio is. A big gear turns a small gear to collect the line. Now, that's all common, regardless of whether it's the most elementary reel.
I moved the camera.
That's okay.
There you go, right there. Beautiful.
A workhorse reel, or a spinning, or a fixed spool type of a reel. They're all the same. The principles are the same. What's different is the industrial design. So whether you want to make them a particular color, you want to go wide, you want to go narrow, you want to go large capacity, small capacity, they're all basically the same principle. You really didn't get fishing reels until around the 1900s. What you got was Shakespeare and Vom Hoff. And others were just coming out of the Industrial Revolution, figuring out how to develop a fishing reel. And the histories are just wonderful. And I think in addition to the personal histories that folks have in reels, when they know the history of the companies that made them, where they were made, why they were made, what the purpose of those reels are, I think that's really what I tried to bring to the story, not just the screws and nuts and bolts and how to take it apart. And how to put it back together again. So your story was a very interesting one, right? This is one I think you said your neighbor gave you.
Yeah, my neighbor gave me that. It was a lady we used to call, I told you the story, Fat Ann. But she used to like me because I never called her Fat Ann. But she was very nice. Her husband was a fisherman. He had passed away. She had given me a lot of his rods. And that was my first spinning reel I ever had. And that was the first reel that ever got me any kind of fish, which were little snappers. And I used to put little Castmasters on. And when we used to go out to Crabtree, Long Island, we used to roll little balls on the hook. And we used to catch snappers all day like that.
There you go.
So that was predominantly my fishing career until, Fluke came in and all that. But we're not here about that.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about this one then. Let's see if we can augment your understanding of the reel.
Right.
And maybe we'll see what we can do with this. So this is a Penn 720Z for anybody that can see it. This is actually interesting. It's in the bronze color versus the black and gold color, which was the Z. Now, the 720 by itself was in the Penn Greenie line. Almost identical reel, except that one was green, and then they moved to the black and gold, which has stayed with the Spin Fisher pretty much forever. The green ones were introduced in 1961. That was the first time that Penn actually had a spinning reel. These came out around 1970, and again, the same basic design to that, but they weren't the first. Penn was late to the game. The spinning reel actually came home with the GIs after World War II. The GIs were in the war, and they were looking for things to do when they actually weren't in battle, and they found that overseas, Mitchell in particular was one of them, but there were spinning reels in Europe that had not made it to the shores of America. And what they did was they brought them back in war, and then the industries responded. So if I'm getting too deep here, stop me.
No,
No,
you're
no.
doing
But,
just fine.
but a lot of the manufacturers in the U.S. who were making all kinds of war materials started making fishing reels because the government was kind of encouraging them to shift wartime design and production over to something that would have a civilian effect. So there's companies out there like Langley, and Langley was an aircraft, aluminum manufacturer and aircraft in California. Well, they were making pieces and parts for bombers and airplanes. When the war stopped, they started making fishing reels. And Langley eventually got acquired by Zebco, and Zebco's first spinning reels were actually rebranded Langley reels. So there's fantastic histories out there. I would encourage anybody who would like to learn about that type of history that there's a couple of organizations out there, one of which I belong to. It's called ORCA. It's Old Reel Collectors Association. Their website is orca.org. They have monthly magazines, a wealth of information on the older reels, and just a fun read.
Hey, honey, put that link on the bottom of the description at the end of this video.
Yep, got it.
Thank you. And the other thing that they have is you get, when you subscribe to that organization, you get the back histories of their publication, which is called Real News. It goes way back, and you can find all kinds of information. I had a viewer contact me today, said, I just got a reel, an Atlas Portledge reel. I don't know anything about it. Well, I was on the site, and in about 10 minutes, I figured it out. And it was made by Pfluger Company. Pfluger was Ernest Pfluger. He's one of the fellows that developed. And those of us that know Pfluger presidents know the aftermath of his empire. But back in the early 1900s, William Shakespeare, von Hoff, Ernest Pfluger, just pick names, you've got them. Go a little bit more current, Carl Newell. Those folks, they had niches that they were addressing from a fishing reel standpoint. And what they did was they developed, out of a passion, the reels that they thought they would like to fish with. And that eventually became a business. And today, well, there's still people out there doing them, but the legacies live on.
That's pretty cool, man. I just learned a lot about old reels, buddy. I don't know really any of those names, maybe except one you mentioned in the beginning. I heard of it. But you know the history right there, like, wow.
I think that's what makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like if you're passionate about an automobile, knowing all of the things about where the automobile was made and who made it and who the designer was. I'm not passionate about them, but some people would know Harley Earl and things like that, right?
Sure.
So you're just because you like to do it, you learn more about it. And
Absolutely.
then what I've found with my channel is, as people ask me, if I don't know, I go do the research and then I add it to my collective memory, and you just learn more from them. And then when I don't know it, thank goodness for all of the subscribers I have, they do know it. And I'm very thankful for the community that we have out there, the information we're able to share, and, well, just the good times we have together. This has come so far from what I thought it was in terms of just publishing some videos to show people how to do things.
Right.
It's really become a community where you get to know people, establish friendships, and get to learn a little bit more the human side of fishing reel repair, if you will.
You know, I feel the same way about the subscribers and what's going on with surf fishing and the competitions. I feel the same exact way. That's really wonderful. It seems that you really believe in that. Not seems, you do believe in that. And I do too, my friend. So one thing we do have in common is definitely believing in our subscribers.
There you go. Absolutely. We couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, that's what I
We
said.
could do it, but it wouldn't be half the fun that it is.
It wouldn't be fun, man.
That's exactly it.
I was going to ask
well, let's do some surgery.
Before that,
before
the surgery, I wanted to ask you. I always tell the guys the story about going fishing with my dad, and he had a boat pole, and it was a pen. And today, guys, I asked him about that. Now I'm wondering if my mother still has it in the garage. I got to go check and see. But I asked him about this reel, and I described it. I told him it had a green handle and a green face on it on one side. And I want you to tell them the story of
Sure.
where these things come and
So he was describing a pen reel that was made for the commercial fisherman market. So back in the day, the pen reel was pretty much the standard on charter boats and party boats, or whatever the term of it is where you are across the country. And what would happen is, well, they tended to walk off the boat with some customers that were less than honest, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, enough of those folks got together with Penn and asked them, is there anything you can do, some kind of special model that you can make for us so that we could easily identify these reels and kind of stop the theft? Well, Penn responded by making a couple of reels that were only available to them with varying side plates. Most common was the green one. There's also some gray-sided plates out there. Most of the time they were the Penn monospool, but they had some other reels as well as part of that collection. And those of you that are on my channel, that know my channel, saw that Scott from California, who does flea markets, just searching for those reels, found one. And we had the opportunity to not only
it might be mine.
it might be yours, and we also did the service on it. So
Cool.
So
Hopefully I'm going to my mother's, because as soon as I find it, I'm calling you and I'm
there you go.
coming over and delivering you over a nice reel you can work on.
We'll do that.
Well, let's hope, man. That's a big hope.
There you go. You never know,
wonder.
right?
I wonder.
So if fishing reels could talk, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, I get a lot of fishing reels. Here's another one we'll just
Yeah,
take a
yeah.
look at for a moment.
Sure.
I don't even know what this one was. I was searching the name. Oh, here it is. It's, I can read it. It's a Pfluger Summit, okay? So Ernest Pfluger had 4 kids,
Yeah.
4 boys. They, when they decided they wanted to do some unusual projects, they actually founded 4 Brothers Fishing Reels. So if you ever see one of those out there, it's,
Oh,
it's
cool.
a Pfluger reel, just like some of the others. I would love to have fishing reels talk.
Yeah.
I would love to just sit on
Oh
a
my
bench and have somebody tell me, this is the person who bought it. This is how they used it.
Yeah.
This is where it went from here to there and so on. And then how did it wind up at a flea market that I got to buy the darn thing for $5?
And you know what? That is really great. It really, imagine they can talk.
Right.
My reels would all say, yeah, fucking fisherman who sucked brought me, man. I didn't see no fish. His father caught nothing with my pole. Anyway.
So, but they can talk,
Yes.
particularly if you've owned it,
Yeah.
because it's going to share its memories with you every time you look at it,
Every
Yeah.
time.
right? And,
Isn't that great?
I have a couple of those.
Isn't that great?
My dad's, the first reel my dad bought for me, I was probably around 10. And he bought me a Penn 350 level line. Now, those of you that know the boat pole reel, if you will, to use your term,
Sure.
it had the torsion bar up top. It didn't have the line guides that you would see today. Well, that reel was one of your friends, if you will. It got beat up a little bit. Got beat up a lot. I never knew what happened to the reel. I think probably wound up, I got married, somebody cleaned out the garage or went somewhere.
Some
right?
guy in California.
Some
bought
guy
it
in
at a flea
California.
market. Yeah.
But what I did was I went on eBay and I found one and I purchased it. And every time I look at it, I still think about fishing with my dad and about some of the fish that we caught and some of the adventures we had out there. And, it's a good thing to do. Even if you don't have the one you grew up with, go buy your memory.
You know what? I know that he's saying, what he's saying right now. And there's a lot of you guys out there that have those reels. And when you do look at them, you do remember the memories. Because me, I'm a little freakazoid. I have all my lures that I did really good on. I have them here that I caught nice fish on. And every time I do look at my reel, and I do look at the Van Store reel that sees for me after 12 years, the memories of catching fish on that reel. Nothing over 21 inches, but I still caught fish. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But just the fish, the memories, and even times when there weren't fish being caught, I still have a good time. Remember, guys, it is a fact when they say that a day not catching fish any day makes it better than going to work sometimes. So you got to chill out and enjoy all the times because, again, don't make me repeat it. So going back now to Dennis of Second Chance Tackle. He's here with us today. He's given us a little display of his knowledge, which is beyond anything I can even imagine right now. It's like Star Trek. going to other worlds and learning new things. That's where we are right now, guys. But anyhow, going back to Dennis. Dennis, go ahead. Talk about now the reel that I have given you, the 720, is that right?
720Z.
Yeah,
Right.
720Z.
So let's just talk a little bit about if you're thinking of servicing your own reel, what would you want to do and what shouldn't you do?
Right.
Let's start with that, okay? The first thing you should do is just go out and find the information about the reel. What do I mean by that? Well, there's schematic diagrams for most of these. The internet is a pure blessing. And you can go and see a burst diagram before you ever get started on a reel. You can look and anticipate what it is that you're going to see within the reel. The second thing you want to do, and this applies to maybe buying a used reel in addition to servicing your own reel, is do the test. See, does the reel work properly? Can you spin the reel on a spinning reel, of course? Does the bail trip? Does the drags hold? Are there any unusual noises or other things that you suspect might be an issue? Here's an issue right here.
Yeah.
The bail arm is hitting the bail.
Yeah, I noticed
hitting
that too.
the crank.
Oh.
Yeah.
In this case, it's a bent crank arm
Oh.
because that's stationary. So this is a bent crank arm that you could gently pry out.
He's already getting money out of me. Look at this.
I'm not getting anything out of you, but I'm saying.
kidding.
But if you're at a flea market or if you're at a
Sure.
fisherman's show,
Sure.
a used exhibit, even if you're on eBay, check out what the seller is telling you about the reel, because it may make it unrepairable in terms of financials, right? It may not be a thing that you want to do. Again, have some confidence, but back your confidence up with a game plan. And a game plan is, what am I going to do when I start taking this reel apart? First thing you're probably going to do is have some parts in your hand. What are you going to do with them? So establish your piece in terms of what you're going to do. Am I going to have a parts tray? Am I going to lay the parts out in the sequence that I took them out in? Am I going to do organized chaos? That's my system. I have a little pail, a parts tray. But again, I have a lot of experience. I kind of know what I'm looking for.
Sure, sure.
The guys who watch my channel know I get a fair amount of these projects we call reel in the bag projects. They were started but not finished.
Yeah.
They wound up in these food saver bags. And I get the call, the SOS, can you help me? Of course, I'm going to try and help them. I actually reward them for trying to fix their reel. I think that's a better thing than just
Sure.
not doing it at all, right?
Exactly.
Sure.
Let's talk one more thing before we get there. When should you service your reel? Well, the general recommendation I have is once a year. Do it before the season starts or after the season starts, at the end of the season.
Right.
I recommend after the season because you can clean up all of the old microsalts and sands. You can strip the line.
And start fresh.
Right, and get it ready because, well, Eric, you were just telling me about when they come up the river.
Yeah.
You never know when that day's going to be.
You never know.
And if you're waiting until the start of the season, you're going to miss that day.
Yeah,
right? Because you're going to say, oh, my gosh, I forgot. I wanted to change the line. I wanted to
No doubt about
put some
it.
fresh oil and lube and the like in there. So first thing you want to do is have that plan. Where are you going with the see if I can do this and talk at the same time.
Sure.
What are you going to do with the parts? Second thing you're going to do is, what am I going to do in terms of the repair?
Yeah.
You can fully strip out a reel and take every part off the reel, or you can just do the basics of this reel. In this case, it's a pretty simple reel. You have a crosswind block that's broken. Now it's really going to cost you. This piece belongs on here. It's a crosswind block.
Wow.
All right. I'm going to take it apart. We'll put it back together
Yeah,
later.
man, no
How's that?
problem.
You're going to remove your handle.
Yeah.
There's a pin in here. I don't know. Did I bring something? I didn't think I was doing surgery
I
today.
can see.
I was leaving, and Eric goes, "Bring your tools."
Yeah, I could see.
All right. There's a pin that holds that
Yep,
crosswind
yep.
block on. I think this is a test. You pull your axle shaft out,
Wow.
take your crosswind block out.
Look
No,
at that.
I didn't bring the wrench.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's a deep socket wrench that you should have.
I probably have one, but
There you go. You would take this off, pull the rotor up.
right.
That's your small gear. Remember what we said?
Yeah.
Large gear, drives small gear,
Sure.
makes something go around to collect the line, right?
Right.
That's your small gear. That's your large gear.
Definitely.
When you pull the rotor off, you'll be able to remove the pinion gear.
Yeah.
There's a tie down underneath.
I could see what you're talking about
Right.
now when you say
Then
you
you
work in
push it out.
chaos here. My goodness.
Yeah.
That took about 30 seconds and everything was all like, hey, your reel's broken.
And this tells
Yeah.
you that it's time to service the reel.
Nice.
All right, that's old grease that's become discolored. It's these are not water sealed like your Van Stalls over there.
Sure.
Right, water is going to get into these reels.
Yeah.
Micro salts and micro sands are going to get in there.
Wow.
And while you've got metal gears here,
Yeah.
they're going to jam in the teeth. They're going to start to erode it, just like if you were taking sandpaper or some
Absolutely.
other kind of abrasive. And well, that's just going to harm the reel. It's going to slow it down. It's going to make it make noise. And, well, we'll put this together later, Eric.
Sure, buddy. No problem. Not a problem.
If that wasn't broken, I would
Absolutely.
put that
Don't
right
worry.
back.
Don't worry about it.
All
Don't
right.
worry.
So I don't know what we just learned there, but I guess.
No, you learned. We learned a lot right there. Let me tell you.
Right.
So I learned that I was ready to take that out again, and I learned that if I caught a fish on it, I probably wouldn't have brought it in.
At one point, your spool wouldn't go up and
Yeah,
down. and then-
exactly, and then it'd be over.
well, yeah. Well, that's a fixed spool, so it probably would stay there, but you'd have a whole bunch of line just coming out all
Exactly.
over the place.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the message with this? The message is, one, don't be afraid. Be cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took that apart in about 30 seconds. That's 30 years
was
of
amazing.
doing. That's about 30 years of
I couldn't
doing that
believe what was
stuff.
going on. I'm like,
Right?
the reel, it's open. Look, the parts are out.
Yeah, there's no hocus pocus with this,
Yeah.
but you don't win a race. This isn't speed.
Right.
Go at your own pace.
Right.
Do what you're comfortable with. And as I mentioned, you don't have to go the full length with this. If you're confident that the pieces and parts are not broken, there's another piece in here.
Wow. Yeah.
Just get some grease. Grease
Yeah.
the main gear.
Yeah.
Grease your pinion gear. It's only one screw holding this on. So don't do any more assembly. Just clean it up. That's got
Yeah,
some old
yeah.
grease on it. Clean it up and put it back. And then,
Nice.
take
Hey,
it fishing.
Dennis, we have a question from Joe Albanese. Question for Dennis. Is there something special about spinning reel rollers that makes them better for braid than mono, that keeps the line from twisting? Huh.
Well, a couple of things. I think that it's special that you have a line roller, a burring in there for a braid. I've seen a lot of the older reels. People will take an older reel like a Mitchell. I don't know if I have one of those. Oh, let's take this one. This is a good one. It's an old Cardinal. This is a Zebco Cardinal.
Zebco.
Comes with its own story.
Man, does it?
Right?
That'd be great. Tell
So-
us.
When you see the word cardinal, you always think of Abu Cardinal, right? So Abu was a Swedish company, and what Abu did was they wanted to get into the spinning wheel business. They were looking for a distributor. They actually had a distributor in Garcia. You have Abu Garcia, but
That's right.
they were distributing
That's what I remember.
round bait casters, the ambassadors.
Ah.
But Garcia had a non-compete clause because they were distributing Mitchell reels in the U.S., Garcia Mitchells, right? So they could not distribute Abu spinning reels in the U.S. Abu had to find a distribution partner. They found Zebco, and you have the Zebco Cardinal.
That is so
But
cool.
that's not why we did this one. This is kind of where my channel goes, but
Yeah.
that's not
Tell
what
me,
this
tell
is
me
about.
something about that reel.
So on the,
Functionality, is it good? I mean,
yeah, what's fun about this one? This one happens to be broken. You told me to grab reels. I
yeah,
grab reels
right.
that are in
That's
for
great,
repair.
though. That's great.
This one has a unique drag feature. It has a rear drag,
Oh, cool.
right? But not like the like some of the Shimano 200s or 2000s or
Yeah.
that you see that has the bulb on the bottom.
Yeah.
This actually had a clamp that was working down on the axle shaft on the reel. That's when the knob is broken off and needs to be repaired. But I grabbed this reel because of Joe's question there about line rollers. This is a stationary line roller. It does not have a ball bearing in it. And what happens with braid is very abrasive. I guess abrasive and braid comes all by itself, right? It's part of the root of the word. That will wear a rut in a fixed line guide system. So if you have an older Mitchell, if you have any reels that were basically before braid, you're going to find that if you don't have the roller, that braid is going to rip into the metal. And I've seen it where it's almost cut it in
Wow.
half. It's almost like a hacksaw blade at a much finer level, right?
Sure.
But yeah. So Joe, yeah, if you have a line guide with a roller bearing in it, better yet have 2 of them in it.
Now,
like most of the modern reels.
Question. I don't want to get off that for a second. Where if it's not rolling and the braided line is going through it, obviously for it to cut through, it's cutting through it in like a smooth. It's wet. It's coming back. It's being watered at the same time where it's keeping it smooth instead of cutting through it like, making a sharp edge, because then it would cut every time.
Well, I've seen a lot of it. Well,
Tell me.
Well, we also know about the poles, right? If you look at the poles that were designed before braid, check your eyelets.
Yeah.
Because the braid is cutting the eyelets.
Yeah, definitely.
Does the same thing here.
Wow.
That's the same thing.
That's
here.
pretty cool, man.
Joe, I hope I answered your question.
I hope so.
Anybody else got any questions? If you feel like calling in, Mrs. P will put up a number. You can also call in, and we'll go from there.
Nice.
Make sure we got that.
Or we'll go fishing, one or the other.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't mind going fishing. Let's just stop now and go. All right. So,
Dom
So-
AZ is saying, does Dennis have a favorite vintage reel brand?
good questions, man.
We all have favorites, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy multiple brands, but I like the engineering behind it. I like the thought and the innovation that comes with the reels. I didn't always go that way. I was always, what's the latest and greatest, and what should I be chasing, and who's got this, and be the envy on the dock kind of thing. But I think as I got older, I realized it is a passion or a fashion industry, if you will, and that most of the reels are going to do the same thing today that they were when you were going to buy them.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
From a vintage standpoint, I really, really like the Abu Ambassador lines. And the design, the internal design has changed a little bit. The quality, until I moved the production of some of the pieces to China, the quality has been outstanding. My recommendation today is if you're going to buy an Abu Ambassador, buy the Swedish-made Ambassadors only.
Wow.
And that goes for a lot of reels. If you check out my channel, you'll find that there's all kinds of comparatives out there.
Right.
Pen Jig Master is an example. I don't know. I never have an issue about whose hands assemble the reels, but I have issues about who makes the decisions on the internal designs and the materials used in it. And the Jig Master, by today's standards, the metal alloys that are used inside of it, they don't stand the test of time versus the older ones.
Wow. And I have to tell you, all these reels we're talking about, their names. These names are like, you're talking about, like Calvin Klein and Yves Saint Laurent. Those. I'm trying to say here is that, they should come out with a reel that's like, Frank and Sal's reel, like that. Right. So everybody, Frank and Sal's. The name. I'm joking when I say all this, obviously, but that's the reels that you're talking about. When you say vintage, everybody tried to make great things back then. Nothing was made cheap back then. I don't think it was, at least. Sure, there might have been companies here and there, but most companies, everything was metal, everything was spot on. It's later on when things came to China, the plastic parts, things like that. That's when...
This has been going on for a long time.
Tell me,
right?
yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, in the U.S., Penn started making the Silver Series in Japan in the 1970s. Things have been offshored over time, right?
Okay.
There was always a good, better, best strategy within the reel makers. So even today that exists, right? You can buy a Penn Pursuit, which is a lower end spinning reel.
Yeah.
You want to move up a little bit, you can buy a Penn Battle.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can buy the Spin Fisher or the Slammer.
Penn Battle.
Right? And then you can go all the way, what is it? The Torque, if I remember, is the higher end there. And Penn owns Van Staal, so, well, Pure Fishing owns Van Staal.
Oh, okay.
So you can go all the way up there with that, right? Same thing with Shimano. You can still get a $15 or $20 Shimano pond reel, right? The FX series or something.
They usually, you'll find those a lot on the combination reels, which is...
And, they're always going to serve the purpose they were intended to serve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were buying it because you're going to take somebody out to learn fishing and you're not going to worry about 15 ball bearings and how smooth the reel is or whatever. You know, it's going to serve that purpose. I always get a kick, you know, before.
Let's just hope you don't catch a 25, 30-pound carp.
You could probably do it, too. You could probably do it on those reels.
There you go.
But, yeah, I remember somebody was telling me, one of my business associates, they got invited out to Colorado. They were going to go fly fishing. This was a big corporate event kind of a thing. They were going to go fly fishing. He went out and he bought the best stuff he could possibly buy, the Orvis fly rod, the reels, the waders, the whole bit. He got out there and decided he didn't like it.
Right.
There's $3,000 or $4,000. You know what? He would have done better with a Gander Mountain or a Ozark Trails $40 fly reel and learn that he just didn't like that, right? So, but back to the questions. Let's amp it up to today. I have a lot of favorites. There's always that statement: nobody will ever go bad with a Daiwa pen or a Shimano. Right. They're trusted brands. They've got a loyal following. Most importantly, they have parts and service support for their reels, and you know, they have a reputation. Right. There's a lot of great, I'll call them niche marketers. They don't cover the full span. You got a Daiwa, you're going to get a spinning reel. You're going to get a lever drag. You're going to get a boat reel. You're going to get I have them here, closed face reels, all kinds of things, right? They're trying to make a reel for everybody. Something in the low price, something in the medium price, something for the aficionado who wants to spend the $700, $800, $900.
Sure,
right?
sure.
But you also have the niche reels out there too. So I'll call it Avid or Accurate niche reels, right? They're lever drags, they're jigging reels. They have a specific purpose to it, right?
Correct.
You have Siegler, which was release, right? They're going to make a fine reel. And fly reel guys, you know, I can't say the brands, I don't know the brands, but fly reel guys have that same passion, right? It's going to be this manufacturer or that manufacturer, right?
No doubt.
But overall, if you stick with that stuff, that's fine. That doesn't mean that the off-brand name that you're going to find in a Walmart or Kmart's gone, but you know, that big box store, right? Isn't going to be a good reel. And I've done some reviews. I've reviewed reels in addition to fixing them. I've done some of these Amazon reels that are $20, $30. Caesar is one that I just did, a bait casting reel. You open up inside, it's quality design. It's nice materials. Yeah, it's going to sell for $29. It's not going to sell for $299. It's not going to be a Daiwa Alexa, right? But it is going to be a nice reel, and it's going to serve its purpose.
Nice. Very nice.
We have a couple comments. So we have Wombat.
Wombat.
Saying, I got a question. What happened to I at Fry Guy Lure Works? Van Stol X2, it deteriorated, thing like disintegrated, never seen nothing like it, a few months old.
I think that's for you, Eric.
Fry Guy Lure Works? I don't know.
I don't know that.
Turtle Cove Tackle. Ask Dennis what he thinks about Z-Bass reels, the only reels with a lifetime warranty and are made in Connecticut.
I think they're good reels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excellent.
Again, these are niche, right? You know, and a lot of these, they might be mainstream one day, right? I like the Z-Bass line.
Nice. Good to hear that.
Good to know. Let's see. What else are there? A couple comments here. Dom AZ asking, does Dennis have a dream reel? Like, what's his holy grail reel?
I don't dream of reels. Maybe I do. Maybe the dreams of reels is how am I going to fix this thing. Right? I really enjoy the Newell reels. Pick anyone you want, right? I just think Carl Newell was so far ahead of his time. The stainless steel gearing, the design, the graphite frames, right? The aluminum spools that are anodized, whatever it is. He was a saltwater guy. He was in the plastics business. He was in California, loved to fish, and he just wanted to build a reel that would stand the rigors of saltwater fishing. Wow. And as we talked about before, a lot of my fishing is in saltwater, and I see the effects of corrosion and wear on reels. And I just enjoy those newer reels.
Wow, very cool.
John,
you're going to leave me name and everything so I don't forget. Like I forget.
Oh, you're going to watch your podcast again.
Yeah, and I'm going to watch you. You know how many times? Oh, my goodness. Go ahead, hon. How were you going to say something?
Oh, John Francisconi says, I'm going to leave reel repair to the professional in order not to wind up with parts I can't figure out a place for.
Okay, let's talk about what you can do.
Yeah.
All right? Because we talked a little bit about when you should service your reel.
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 theories on that. I told you that I began with fixing fishing reels on party boat or charter boats. Those were run them till they break.
Right.
You never did preventive maintenance. You never did any service. That reel was fishing 250 days on the East Coast here.
Right.
And when it broke, it went in that bucket. And hopefully
that
that reel got repaired and went back out to service again, right? There's things you can do without taking the reels in pieces and parts and kind of blowing them up and trying to maintain the reel yourself that are sage, if you will.
Right.
The first thing you should do is flush your reel after every use. Not in the toilet. Well, you could use the toilet. You could use the toilet as long as it doesn't have toilet bowl
We
cleaner.
fished in worse. Oh, my God. Some of the areas.
No, when you take it off, hose it down with fresh water. Don't use the water at the dock. It's probably brackish and
Right,
probably
yeah,
got some salt in
definitely.
it. I recommend just taking it off the pole. And when you take it off the pole, put it in a pail of water. It doesn't have to be anything significant.
Yeah.
But the fresh water and that sitting in the pail, you'll be amazed when you take that reel out of the water to look in the bottom of that bucket, and you're going to see sand and salt and dirt and debris in there. And that's after one use. So imagine the folks that tie the rods onto them, put them in a rod rack, take the boat out, don't use the reel, figure they don't have to do anything, and they come in so corroded with the salt spray and everything that's come up on it. There you go. So flush your reel after use. I like WD-40. WD is water displacement, right?
Sure.
I like to hose, spray it down. There's an ongoing debate as to whether that ruins the line or not. Keep it off the line if
that's
if
it.
you're worried about that.
That's it.
Here's a product. I'm not a hype guy, but here's a product to use. It's Pen Rod and Reel Cleaner, right? So just put it on a little pad. You can use a kitchen scrubby if you like. You can use a terry cloth towel, a microfiber towel, whatever you like. After you're done rinsing the reel, just spray it on there and just wipe off any of the film that might be on there, because film gets on the reels, gets on the rods. Just run it down the rod blank.
Right.
Takes you no time.
Rod and
And of course, if you really love your rods, you can do what some of the guys do. Take it in the shower with you as you're
Oh my God.
as you're soaping up. Just take it in the shower, rinse it down there.
Too good.
Oh, that's crazy.
Too good. Gotta love it. Wow. So, okay. So we could sit here all night and we could talk about every single reel that's out there. I'm pretty sure you know them well.
Delco
But,
Joe says,
yeah.
ask him about Geomexus.
Gomexus.
Gomexus.
Mexus, yeah.
Geo.
Make a great handle. Make a great handle. Quality items. They are going into the big reels now. So they're going into the trolling reels, the Penn International series of reels. The people that I've talked to that have those reels say that they're done very well. I haven't had one in my shop to tear it apart to actually say what the content is. If you want leveraged handles for Penn, Daiwa, Shimano, check out Gomexus. They make 2 things. They make just the replacement knobs. So you could, there's a reel here.
Yeah.
You could knock the knob off of here and replace it with a, you got that?
Yeah, she got it.
Yeah, you can knock the knob off. You just drill out the stud here. Replace that with the Gomexus knob, which has got a ball bearing and it's going to have an ergonomic handle on it in a ball form. Or they make the full blank and handle now for most of the popular reels. So the Daiwas, the Shimanos, the Penns, and they really are quality products. So yeah, I like them. Again, I haven't taken that reel apart, but if their reels are the same quality as their handles, absolutely.
It's fantastic. I think this is the most knowledge my brain has ever taken in all its life. Because I want it. I want it. When you want something, it's just absorbed so easily.
Yep.
Very nice. I love this. I love this. Just not to get off the subject, we'll be right back, Dennis. But I just want to let you guys know you do have.
What's that?
Yeah, the giveaway, guys. I just want to let you guys know. It's 8:09. We're not going to have it right now in a few minutes. still want to speak to Dennis a little bit more and ask him 1 or 2 more questions. And you guys are free to ask him questions. So, guys, you know what's up tonight. I'll put up the overhead. Can you see that, hon? There we go. Okay, I got the rods and reels in the way, but again, I'm going to show you. So we have here Bill Hurley's lures. We got these 10-inch eels here. Also, we got Turtle Cove tackle. These are the for your pliers or your grips, whatever. You put them on with a blow dry. They shrink it up, and they fit right on. They make a great grip. Thank you for that, Big K. Also, we got 2 caps tonight. One is from my man out there, Joe Albanese, Hudson River Fishing Association. Thank you for this, Joe. That's a cap you're getting. You're also going to get another cap. Pretty cool here. We got the Montauk Surfcast Association. Thank you to Bill Jacob. Also, we got Bill Wetzel's signature on there. Thank you for that. And also, let's get to the good stuff. We got Lights Outlaws. He's going to be on the show next week as a guest. We'll check him out. But you're going to get these beautiful 2 gliders, one in white, one in a purple blackish on the top. Beautiful stuff. This guy makes some quality lures. You're going to get 2 of those. And to top it all off, I didn't put this on the Instagram earlier, but you're going to get a Lure Walker shirt. It's one size. I guess if you have a problem, he can change it for you. But this one's in a large. It's got Billy the Greek in the back. Billy the Greek Lagakis with a stripe. It's a beautiful shirt. And in the front, it says Lure Walker. Just a great piece. And I'm going to throw in how old is my striper. Could pretty much determine from the weight how many years old it could be. But all that tonight going to be given away on the Mr. Poseidon live stream. I like to do good things for you guys. Always, nothing is ever cheap on my show. Other than that, we have a good time together. Join the channel. You get your perks. If you want to become a, what do we call it, hon, when they join? A member, a Spoof Crew member?
Exactly.
Yeah, Spoof Crew member. It's $3 a month. YouTube takes a freaking $1 from me, so I'm left with doing it, and I'm very happy. But join up, guys. It helps us out to keep us going. We got the Poseidon, Mr. Poseidon's 4th annual challenge. It's going to be great. We got the championship jacket. That'll be with us very soon. You guys will be able to see that. The trophies, the money, $5,000, $2,500, 1,003rd, $500 from 4th to 6th place, $5,000 in prizes. The bonus boxes that you get when you get there. One of you guys is going to have a winning Van Stall in there. The second day, the longest and most accurate cast. We're going to try to get those prizes to $1,000 each. And on the 3rd day, the big party, the event of the year, will be at Shagwan again probably. And we're going to have a drink and an appetizer for everybody. It was a great time last year. We'll be giving out the awards and the prizes that night. Let's go, let's go. It's an event, not just to go fishing. It's an event to get together, the commodity. It's a beautiful event that everybody has a good time. So make sure you join. I think we have like 73 seats left in the bonus boxes, but we're still very early.
Yeah.
You guys, the earlier you get on, you're guaranteeing yourself one of the bonus boxes.
Yep.
You will get a box after it, but you're just not going to get those perks of the lures and things. Everything else will be included. Your lures, your casino-style chips, which are going to be your free drink, your appetizer. Your ruler's going to be in there, and a couple other little goodies, too. But
Dom AZ saying there's no bunker eating contest.
you know, I was thinking
That's the
about.
only thing that's missing.
I was thinking of adding a bunker throwing contest. Believe it or not.
That's so fun.
But yeah, guys, I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. Make sure you get in there for those bonus boxes. You go to Eventbrite. We'll leave a link on the bottom, and you can go there and join. See all the rules and regulations. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Let's
all
go.
the links.
Let's go.
Delco Joe, he's so crazy.
What did Delco Joe say?
If someone eats a whole bunker, I will marry Miguel at the lighthouse. Ay, ay, ay.
Miguel is a gentleman who makes
David
bags.
St. Louis says, you ain't already? Yeah.
At Point. I don't know if you ever heard them. At Point surf bags.
Oh, okay.
That's Miguel. That's the owner who makes those bags there. So that's who he's talking about. They always
So
break each
funny.
other's
There you
chops.
go.
So funny. Good stuff. But we're going to do that drawing in a little while. Right now, I want to get back to Dennis Kuntz. He's from Second Chance Tackle. He has a channel on YouTube. My suggestion is, subscribe to him, watch his shows. You can always write to him. Do you have this reel? Can you do this? I'm pretty sure, Dennis, you'll take care of them as far as maybe answering their questions as best as they can be answered.
I try to answer them all.
There you go. That's a beautiful thing. So I want to get back to you, Dennis. Dennis, I want to finish this off. Again, I want to have you on the show again sometime. You're a very interesting guest, probably my most interesting guest that's ever been on the show. We've had some great shows where we have gone crazy laughing, but we haven't learned anything. But on this show, I can guarantee you there's a lot of guys that are in the interest of maybe working on an older reel.
Right.
Even if we got one person to do that tonight, that's a beautiful thing. So,
There you go.
and that's me. I can guarantee you that I'm going to pull apart some of these old reels
There you go.
just to go through them because I've never really done that. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm good with my hands. That's what I do. I just never put it into reels. And I know if I get into it, I can do a good job. But it's not going to look like a little mini bomb exploding in 30 seconds. Oh, my God, Dennis. That was incredible. I was like, things were popping all over the place.
Well, and while you were doing that, the reel's back together.
Yeah, I see
again.
that. Thank you.
Show
Thank
it.
you.
Wait,
Thank
show it. Show it.
Yeah, yeah. Put
Yeah,
it
it's
on. There
back
it
together
is.
again.
It's back together.
And
Look
it's
at
actually it's still going.
Wow.
Wow, look at
Beautiful.
that. Just like that.
We did take the broken tooth out, but
Oh, the
that's all
broken
right.
tooth.
Yeah, I got plenty of those.
Next time I come back, I'll see if I can find that.
Yeah,
if that box
excellent.
is still available.
Thank you. Thank you so
Hilarious.
much for that. So going back to you, I wanted to ask, so all what you do also sell some things that you fix, correct? You have things for sale?
Yeah. So every now and then I'll get the folks that say, I've got a box of reels here. They're not being used.
You want them?
Can you give them a second chance? Right.
Yeah.
You mentioned Joe before, and I know you're involved as well with
Yeah.
youth angler programs.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I'm a little passionate about as well. I like to give back. Never hurts. And I saw the one you did with Joe up at the HORFA
Yeah.
meeting the other day,
Yeah.
where you're going to fish the Harlem River Piers with a group of folks.
We just did it. We had it. It was a Father's Day event.
Oh, okay.
And the little kids all come down. It was in, it's people in the inner city. And I got to tell you what a beautiful event.
Right.
Very nice. All the kids that come down, and they were catching some fish there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So what we like
Yeah.
to do when I get a box in, a lot of times there's no economic value to them, right? But with a little bit of effort, those reels can be restored and can be taken fishing. I'd love nothing better than strap it on a pole and find a kid on the dock. Just
man.
give them a chance to go learn about fishing, and it's so rewarding to do something like that.
Sure.
So it's not just about the reel repair. You're never going to get rich. I know I get a lot of people contact me. I'm going to retire. I'm looking for a side hustle. You're not going to get rich, but you will get rewarded.
Yeah.
And if you just think about giving back in that regard, it's wonderful.
It's a beautiful thing,
Yep.
Dennis.
It sure is.
Congratulations on that. Yeah, I want to just say, so when he says you're not going to get rich, you can go out. You can get an extra box of Captain Crunch or something at the supermarket. You should be happy for that because I like Captain Crunch. So there's always a second box waiting around for me. But anyhow, Dennis, I don't know how to say thank you to you.
You just
Yeah, I mean, this was really, really fantastic, man. I'm so glad that I had you as a guest and also that you were here. And before I forget, remind me, you got to sign the wall. We just started doing that up on the wall. All my guests who come here, I have them sign the wall up there. So I'm just letting you know, remind me because I don't want to forget. I'll be very angry. But anyhow,
right.
Ro, anything else that you'd like to say or anybody else out there?
That's it. Let me see here. Wait. Edwin Rivera says, Dennis, is there something you absolutely hate about reel manufacturers? What are some things you would do differently or change or wish for in reels that they don't do?
Yeah. I got a list.
Oh, yeah. Where do you begin? We don't have enough time.
Well, some of them I have issues. We talked about the Jig Master with the poor quality materials coming out of China. Same thing with the Abus. Same company, Pure Fishing, right? They own them both. Pure Fishing, for those that don't know, is a conglomerate. They own Penn, Shakespeare, Pfluger, Abu, Berkeley, numbers of reels. And Mitchell, they bought the Mitchell brand plate. Finor, Van Stahl.
Yeah.
Right. And for the most part, they got, good things to say about them. But every now and then, there's things that I don't like. I don't like manufacturers that make special wrenches so you can't open them up.
Yeah, well.
Seal them and things like
That's
that.
us
right?
over here, too.
That's
so.
personal pick, right? But, for the most part, I think they're trying. They realize.
They have a.
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. I was going to say that, Van Stahl. I love Van Stahl. It's never given me a problem, and that's why I love it. I don't say I love Van Stahl because I brought a name reel.
Right.
I've been using the older one that broke over 14 years now.
Right.
And on the 12th year, whatever, it went down on me.
So
I haven't been able to use it much the last 2 years. I broke an ankle, came down with diverticulitis. I had 3 surgeries, last one being 2 months ago. So I'm 100% healed right now. I'm good to go, and I'm ready to go fishing. But again, these reels are all precision reels.
Right.
You're talking about precision reels. So go ahead on that story.
So I was going to just tell you, if you like Van Stahl,
Yeah.
about 50 or 60 years ago now, there was a French reel called the Luxor.
Right.
And eventually they changed the name to Crack because of a lawsuit.
Oh.
That was, a lot of people claim that is the foundation for the Van Stahl. So the design has been around a long time.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, right? So I'll bring one up. Show
Wow.
it to you, share it with you. Right?
That's pretty cool, buddy.
It is. But
Well,
I do appreciate everything that you've
Thank
done.
you.
As we mentioned, not
Yeah.
only giving back to the community, but
Absolutely.
sharing knowledge. And that's what Second
That's the
Chance
best.
Tackle is all about. It's about sharing the knowledge, teaching you to do it yourself. As I mentioned, I'm not getting rich in it. I'm not in it for the money.
Right, right.
But I do enjoy doing it. And I hope that everybody who's watched my channel either enjoys watching it.
Right.
I know there's people out there that'll just watch it. Somebody called me the Bob Ross of fishing reels.
Yeah. You know what, bro?
Yeah.
This whole time I'm sitting here and he's speaking.
Oh, the Bob
and in the back
Ross
of my
of it.
mind, I kept hearing, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
So smooth.
Happy reels.
Wait, hold on. Somebody else said something else. He was who was it? What's his name? The science guy?
Bill Nye.
Bill Nye. That's what he said. Somebody said he's the Bill Nye of fishing
In your
reels.
home, making the videos.
Right.
You're going to invest in a nice little mic, plug it into the computer, and this way you'll get the nice rich sound.
I
out of it
think
when you
the
do
water heaters and the air conditioners and that is,
Yeah,
it's got
I
a
get
certain
it.
ambiance to
I
it.
get
Yeah,
it.
no, now people are going to be like, yeah, what's
What
wrong?
happened?
Yeah.
So right
What's
now,
going on with the dryer this week? Come on.
So somebody right now is walking past
Yeah.
this podcast who's being watched, and they said, "Who is that? I only know the hands."
Yeah, there you go.
Now they know the
Yeah,
face.
Now,
they
now
know.
they know the face. There you go.
Absolutely, they know the face. And
Let's see
I'm
if we
glad
got
you
anything.
came by. It was very fun. I'm not going to say interesting. It was knowledgeable, buddy.
Okay.
Ooh.
I enjoyed this show. I thank you so much.
I'm glad
Thank
to
you
share
for
with
breaking my reel. Other than no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But thank you for coming by. Thanks. I had a great fun time with you. Pizza, talking reels there with you was
Right.
fun. I'm very happy. And again,
Yes,
maybe in a
Bob
few
Ross.
months, couple of months more, I'm going to ask you to come back. And if you can make the trip, that would be great.
We'll see
Maybe we
what
can
do.
send.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dennis. It was a pleasure.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
If
And
you want to
Willie
hang out
J-
a few minutes,
Yeah,
Go
he's
ahead.
going to hang out. Willie J said it's like Bob Vila on This Old House. It's going to change to This Old Reel
there you go.
with Dennis.
Guys, I
That's
just
so
wanted you to
cool.
know that tonight's great.
What happened?
I don't know where my glasses are. I just had them on.
Oh, your glasses to see? They probably fell.
You're right.
And now you like my podcasts.
Is that what you do?
Background. There you go. That was
we
funny,
have
Dennis.
oops moments when I
Yeah,
I don't
well,
edit
you
those.
know.
I don't edit those out.
I
That's
know.
If I
okay.
drop a screw on the floor, they're on the floor, and I go
see.
oops.
You go oops.
That's it. This is a live show. It happens.
Yeah, so the two lures that I
Yeah.
got tonight, which are the main attractions here,
Oh, yeah?
are the Lights Out lures, the gliders that are going to be going with this whole package. I want you guys to know that Willie J sent these to me, and he sent a little note, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Hey, Mr. P, just a little thank you for all you do for us fishing community. Hopefully we can see you come up to the ditch this year. Come share a tide with myself, Oski, and the crew. Tight lines, always, Willie J. Thank you so much. It's letters like these that keep me going.
Oh.
You know, it's not about the money-making thing for me. I love you guys, and I love the surf fishing community. It's something that I love to do, that you love to do, and we can all come together in commodity, and let's go with the Striper Challenge this year. I can't wait to see you guys. It's going to be a wonderful time. Willie J, thank you so much. Let's do that raffle right now. If you entered into the comments, it's too late now. Don't do it. But if you entered into the comments, into my pinned comment up in the left corner, which I told you to leave on, you're in, guys. So
the pin post.
yeah, pin post. So
okay, so
set it up and let it rip.
We are going to
go ahead, rip it.
Let's see here. We got. It says
winner is
Scott Paikin.
Scott Paikin. Scott Paikin, if you're out there, let's give a holler. You're going to get the 10-second Mr. Poseidon countdown. 10 and the 9.
Scott Paikin.
8.
SCOTT.
7.
PAIKIN.
6. 5. 4. 3. 2.
Scott Paikin.
1. And spin it again, honey. Let it rip. Spin it. Spin it.
Hold on.
There you go.
All right. Hold on. We'll spin it to. And we got CMA 10187.
CMA 10187. Are you there?
CMA 10187.
Okay, here you go. 10, 9, 8, 7.
You got to be out in the live
6,
chat.
5, and a 4, 3, 2, 1.
PX is like,
let's
next
roll.
roll.
Spin it, roll. Spin it.
Okay, sorry,
Spin it.
sorry. One more time.
Spin it.
Where are you, people?
Spin it.
Okay. And the next one is
I guess so.
Outfish All. What?
Outfish All Fitters?
Outfish All
Outfitters.
Outfitters.
There you go. I hope you can do it.
It's one of those roll.
All right, here you go. There he is. Let's fucking go.
Outfish
Outfitters.
Outfitters.
Congratulations, brother. Nice package you won.
Thank
Congrats on
God.
that. Thank you guys for everybody who came to the show tonight. Thanks for coming every week. I don't know what to say. If you're out there and you listen and join the channel, we got lots of great things always going on here. There's a giveaway every week. We got wonderful guests on. As you can see, we had Dennis Kuntz on, Second Chance Tackle on YouTube. Subscribe to him. Great, knowledgeable guy. Probably one of my most knowledgeable guests that I had on. And that's not defunking anybody else. Everybody's great in here, but this guy really got me today. I want to go and fix a reel now. But anyhow, thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dennis,
see you
for
guys
coming on.
next week, all right?
See you guys
We're gonna
next
have on
time.
Lights Out Lures next week, guys. See you then, guys.
Woo-hoo.
Let's
Peace
go,
out,
let's go.
everybody.
Thank you.
Great.
It's fun.
So right now we're actually still playing. It's going on the corner. I don't know if you can see here.